Alien's Guide to Being an Earthling, a podcast with me, Dr. Khushboo, a consciousness based guide to creating the life and living you know should be possible with, for, and on planet Earth.
Welcome everybody to the next episode of Alien's Guide to Being an Earthling. Today I'm joined by the lovely Angélique, and I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly, but she's French, so Angélique, aka Angel Bernard, um, from France. I've known Angel for years now. Feels like lifetimes. Feels like we've had lifetimes and lifetimes. Um, and what do I say? So she's a powerful talk to the entities facilitator, a certified access facilitator, and also is one of the linchpin of that drives TTT, which is talk to the entities, and is also involved with the access business with many different roles, including being a tremendous host.
Thank you.
However, yeah, and I'm so happy she's here. So, how are you, Angel? I'm glad you're here.
I'm amazing. Thank you.
Yes, we all know that. So let's dive into the conversation. Right. So I cannot not talk about entities while Angel is here, and this is where a lot of the conversation today will revolve around her awareness of entities. And like with every interview, everyone that I talk to, I first go to how were you when you were a child? And with this, like, how is it, like, when did you first know you were aware of entities?
Wow. Let me just download my
Yeah.
childhood. It was like the first part of my life before I started to learn talk to the entities tools
Yeah.
was like I was not aware of old, beautiful, kind, light beings. It
Yeah.
was more heavy, dark, ugly, and not fun entities, you
Yeah.
know. I think it was also the part of maybe family I grew up with a lot of like some people around drugs, alcohol and addictions. So, it's like it's not the kind of angels you want to handle with,
Yeah.
but it was what I was aware of. And then now I know I have some abilities with that. But yeah, it's actually yeah, remember when I was kid, like the first thing is I started to saw on my room, like some shadows and something that feels really like heavy and dark. That's when you talk to your parents, you're like, no, it's nothing. Or like, yeah, but I tell you it's something. But then
Yeah.
after you want to think it's nothing, that you can be more secure. So you
Yeah.
start to think it's nothing, and then your point of view creates your reality, and then you start to deny and being less aware, or like maybe not check out when something happened like this, because you don't want to be insecure, you don't know how to handle that, and so yeah, you just check out more and more, and after I remember one day, well, I had so many things, but one day I was in Italy, in my family, and it was a little girl who would come to me and say, you know what, I see people, dead people, and then let's go to the cemetery and we can see some of them. And I was like, okay, fine, I always love to do some adventures. And then we go there, and then suddenly I saw, it was like, I knew what it was like few years later, from now, but it was like a little shadow, like going on the dark, on the sky, and something like moving on from the cemetery to the sky. And I
Yeah.
was like, what is that? And I saw that, and she said, oh, so have you seen that too? And like, she saw that too. I'm not like weird. We saw exactly the same thing in same times. So, and I knew afterward that it was like how do you call that? Sorry, in English, death entities. You know, like the
Yeah.
entities, yes, who start to come around you when you are going to die. You
Yeah.
know, I already saw another one in hospital that I didn't know what was this before too, in a hospital too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that and sometimes it was also channeling some messages that I couldn't know how I knew that, you know, like
Yeah.
there was many things like that I had, but it was so uncomfortable. So I used a lot of cute, not bright ideas to start to set up my awareness
Yeah.
with negative thinkings, with food compulsion, with addiction, with drugs, with alcohols, with I think I tried everything. It works well until a point that you
Yeah.
can really never skip your awareness. So it becomes so in- uncomfortable and loud that one time it's like change or die. Get
Yeah.
aware or die. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm not sure I want to die. Let me look to add the tools to start to learn how to handle and live with that without significance, without making that something so important in my life. You know, I'm not talking
Yeah.
about that every day. I'm just aware of that. I use when it's relevant. I use that to facilitate people when they reach out me for getting facilitate, having awareness. But yeah, it's definitely not from a point of view of superiority. It's not the philosophy of talk to the entities, if we can say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the idea. It's just
Yeah.
like get the tools and grow up, you know, like how we should be um raised from the beginning, but
Yes.
now you are an adult, so get an adult in a
Education. Yes. So, all right. So basically, the childhood was, being aware of all of this, having crazy people around you, getting into not such kind things for yourself and your body. What led you to looking for something like, because I know your story of how you found TTTE. So could you please tell us, like, so obviously one choice after another led you to finding TTT or finding access. Can you give us that little story download, please?
yeah, the short, long story or the long, short story.
Whatever you like.
Whatever, yeah. I oh, another part is I was hearing a lot of voices, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Khushboo, let me know if I'm getting too French. So just repeat the word.
Yes, I will. So I'll be her French to English, like Franglish to Indian English translator. But I think
Yeah,
you've
my
been good.
I'm
You've been good for now.
but especially when I'm really excited to learn to say something, sometimes I'm missing half of the word. So, yeah, I was hearing a lot of voices
Yeah.
always, like, and when you don't know what's going on, it's like I may be a bit crazy, but let's not go on that. So, and I was in Australia. I used to be like to go really far away to stop all the things like addiction and stuff like this around that. And so I was in Australia in a Buddhism temple, and everyone was meditating, obviously, in a Buddhism temple, and me in the middle of that with hyperactivity, like cannot really stop. And
Yeah.
I was like, but it's such a beautiful energy then where we can just receive the peace even more. So I was like, I hear about channeling. Let
Yeah.
me start to write down all my voices in my head. And I start to write. And I was writing some stuff that it looks crazy. I knew it was not me. It was an advanced awareness that I never reached out at this time. So it was interesting. And I was writing some stuff and smelling some perfume of entities. Like it was like a whole sense journey on receiving entities in another level. Without thinking I was talking with entities. Like it's the crazy part. I was like, oh, I'm just like writing
Yeah.
stuff, but I don't really believe that. And then to a point, I write something that it's still on my iPad. I think I should find the way to open it, turn it on again. So I was writing
I love that.
entity who was telling me, you need to learn a technique where you put the finger on the head of the people to heal them. And I was like, fine. The energy that was with that was really light and expanding,
Yeah.
light. And so I was like starting to look online, what can I learn? And I didn't learn anything. And at this time, I was a backpacker in Australia, and then I didn't really have any money. So I just find a school of craniosacral.
Craniosacral. Yes.
Yeah, that,
Yes.
and it costs like 15K, something like this. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's that. And then I had to come back to France a bit quickly for helping my mom to do something. And it was my birthday, so I wanted to gift me a retreat. And when I arrived to that place, and it was the bars chat on the table,
Yeah.
'cause when you learn access bars, you have a chart with some pictures to show you how you put the finger on the head to heal the people. And then
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, I clicked and say something that it's exactly that, matching the energy
Yeah.
of my channeling. So she said, oh, I said, I need to learn that, how I can do that. And she said, oh, you're lucky, I am a facilitator. If you want tomorrow, I can teach you that before you go back to Australia. I was like, fine, let's do that. So I did. And then after I've been back to Australia, and I found Shannon O'Hara, who was doing a beginning, intermediate, and advanced class all in a row. And I put all my money on those classes. I knew it would change my life. It's like, I
Yeah.
didn't know how. And I just followed that energy, and it definitely changed all my life. And entities pulled me on, and I
Yeah.
was really pulled by this creation and possibility and the contribution I can be and receive on this planet with this awareness, those tools, and how to empower people to know what they know about entities and don't be impacted, but impacted with their power, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. So right from the beginning, you've been guided by entities. I mean, and not to say that all entities are good. Like she said, there's all kinds of entities. So you'll be aware of not just the bad ones, you'll also be aware of uh, the kind ones, the ones that have been talking to you and giving you information about everything that you've been asking for.
Yeah.
Cool. So fast forward. So you've done talk to the entities, beginning, intermediate, and advanced with Shannon. What happened after that?
Oh, y- wow. Okay, I will do really short because like it's another story.
No,
um,
but we love them. I wonder, yeah.
which one? Like the one I've been in Hawaii?
I mean, you can pull out whatever you'd like. But like, so what happened after doing those classes? Like, how has your life been since then?
So I went to the class with a lot of expectations. Okay, after this class, I need to change all my addictions. I need to stop my food, how do you say that in English? Food disorders.
Yeah,
Everything needs to be perfect and better after that, like
yeah,
my money on that.
yeah,
And then things change, but not how I expected,
yeah,
Um, so I denied the change.
yeah,
And then I was also, I was like, I didn't like this energy. I didn't like this class. I didn't got what I was expecting. And so let me just stop that. I put on
yeah.
the side the tools and my manuals and the recordings for 1 year without using anything.
Oh,
You
I
know,
see. I didn't know this bit. Continue. Yeah.
Because I also used to be in a place where just after the class, where it was a lot of drug and alcohol entities.
Yeah.
And I was cleaning and cleaning and cleaning the entities, clearing clearings, but I didn't use the specific clearings and other one a bit more advanced that I didn't really remember at
Yeah.
this time. So I had like a fucking headache for 1 week and I felt so bad. So I was like, it doesn't work. I was just like judging, rejecting everything. And then 1 year later, when I said that you cannot really shut down awareness, for a while, and then it was becoming so strong that opened it even more my entity awareness that I couldn't um, shut down the door, close the door about that. So I went back to my recordings, to my manuals, and then I used the tools again, and the change started to build. My muscles grow up again with those tools, and I started to be more like having more ease with them.
Yeah.
And just because it's a muscle, so then you become the tools,
Yeah.
and you also have to be willing that I was not willing to be that, but you have to be willing to be the dominant entity of your life.
Yes.
You cannot be a victim when you start to invite those tools in your life, because when you
I
are
mean, not for too long. You could try it and then it'll show you. It'll show you in ways. Yeah.
so if you always think like, oh, everything happened for me, to me, like I am not the creator of anything, my point of view doesn't create my reality, like obviously you cannot commit to that, because those tools will empower you to be the change and the impact on everything, everyone, anytime, and
Yeah.
first of you. So then I changed my point of view because I would not keep doing
Yeah.
it. And yeah, and until now.
Nice. So basically, you did the classes and then you didn't use anything for 1 year and things got worse. I love this story because it's so imperfect. And I like the fact that it's not just all, oh, I did the class and, next day I was this happy fairy doing the things that I do today. No, this is a journey. And you will be imperfect based on wherever you are in life. So cool. Awesome. So 1 year you didn't use it. After that, you started using it. Then what happened? And how did you actually start working with Shannon? And how did the whole TTT, Shannon, and all of the access and everything come together?
Mm. Yeah, so after I started to do foundation class and using those tools, I looked like I can manifest, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, create things in my life differently, including money and including changing my work, my job. So I remember one day I saw Shannon is coming to Paris for doing a Talk to the Entities Summit. And I was like,
Yeah.
but wait a minute, let me contact her. I sent an email, and I knew that when I was sending the email, say, hey, I would love to host with your team. I know you already have some host, but I can contribute to it. I knew when I sent the email that it would change my life. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, she said, yes, go ahead, come, I will be more than happy. And I started to work with her like this. I enjoyed so much working with the classes, talk to the entities, because when you work with those creations, like you are working physically with few people, but energetically with
Many.
so many things, that every single thing, if you are willing to receive from every single thing, it will empower you. And this is the best things to grow up your muscles, to learn how to receive and cooperate and interact with everything around you, including all entities. Like it's not about dead people, we are talking about creations, we are
Yeah.
talking about venue, we are talking about any single thing you need to include for creating something.
Yeah, which obviously also in this case includes a whole lot of entities and other things. Wow. So, looking back, changing, we started talking about, being in addictions, etc., etc. And now maybe it's about 10 years, 15 years down the line, after you first said yes to consciousness, to TTT, whatever you said yes to, yes to, you know what, I don't want to die. um, how is it, how are you with your addictions now? Are they still relevant? No. So give us a few tips and tools, and what is the one thing you would tell, the younger you? If you are going and giving the younger you like a message today and you're channeling it, what would you say?
Oh, never give up.
Love it.
Never give up, never give in, never quit. And what is the gift behind that? Because like it's always a gift behind that. And as Gary Douglas says, like everywhere you think you are, what if sorry, how I can say that in English? What if everything you decided is wrong about you, it's strong about you?
Yeah.
And I was so wrong about not being to handle my emotions and my habits and my life, like listen my body, and then I just stop every time judging myself and keep asking questions. You fall down, you step up, you fall down, you step up, but every time this action makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And then every time it's a different way. You cannot say, oh, I didn't change anything. No, yes, you changed everything because you already step up, at least once. So it built I think I educated myself with,
Love it. Yeah.
and because I, m- my parents did what they did, they did their best. They had like 19 and they just raised me how they can. But I can tell that it was not the strong foundation of an education I could have, not only energetically, but like with everything, with my body, with relationships. So
Yeah.
it's like all of that with the fear that was behind that from from trauma, from post-traumatic, yeah, everything. So he has been like a huge another way to educate myself. I didn't do
Yes.
but
Yeah.
but I use like consciousness to raise me, and it keep going every day. And entities have been a big part of the education I could have. I always said I've been raised by wolves, and it's really true, honestly. Um, and also all the people I've been working with on the last 10 years, it's Shannon, it's also Dane, like Simon and Gary, like, and all the other facilitators that I could share with that ask me the question I was requiring and everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's another way to educate yourself, you can just complain about didn't have what you should have when you grow up, or just getting by yourself
Yeah.
and make you the greater version you would like to be and contribute to the world with. So
Yeah. Love it. Thank you so much, Angel. I think this conversation was brilliant for all of those who are listening to this. Please listen to it again and again, because again, she's also one of them who's given you a lot of different information in all of the little conversations that we've had in this big conversation. So go back and listen. Never give up, never give in. Even if life feels hard, just keep going. Keep going, and you're never alone. Like now that you look back, and every time you thought you were alone, were you really alone? Or was there always something that had your back? Like even if you didn't know what and who.
but totally, and look, like
Yeah.
if you want to be educated and grow up in any way, even if it's from the dark side or the like,
Yeah.
because you can choose if you want to be good or if you want to be bad. But if you want to be educated, just listen to everything around you. We talk about like receiving and cooperating. So, when you hear Gary Douglas saying everything he learned, it was from horses.
Yeah.
Oh, you can just look at animals or a tree. You can learn so much from them. It's exactly what you need to learn. Like, where my energy is required today?
Yeah.
Where and how can I receive the informations that I require to change that, to add that to my world, to my life? Um, yeah,
Yeah.
and receive, but you have to ask first.
Yeah.
What can you ask that will create the change you are looking for?
Love it. What can you ask for to create the change that you're looking for? And let everything around you support that question, because it will, because that's its job, to support you. Even if you've not had the kindest childhood, it doesn't matter. All right, ask, you shall receive, and let everything support you. And I'm hoping for everybody who listens to this was a conversation that contributed to you. Thank you so much, Angel. I'm obviously going to invite you again because there's so many things we can talk about, and this is just the beginning. So grateful for you. How does it get better? See you guys in the next one.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. And thank you, Khushboo, for this great invitation and for being the gift you truly be. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. To know more, check out my website www.the-earthlings.com. To know more about Access Consciousness, go to www.accessconsciousness.com. If this contributed to you, do share and invite more listeners, and don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next episode.